Welcome back, where today we're talking about Bulletstorm VR. This isn't a full review, these are just my first impressions because I played about 2 hours of gameplay of Bulletstorm on PSVR2 and the embargo for full reviews doesn't lift until tomorrow. However, you're only going to see the first 40 minutes of gameplay or so in this video because the game crashed a fair bit. I lost quite a lot of later on footage, but I have got enough experience to talk about the game. And unfortunately, it really doesn't live up to what I expect it to be. If you're a fan of the original on the PS3, you'll probably get a kick out of seeing all these locations and characters and guns in VR. But for me, it just really didn't do it for numerous reasons. And let's get straight into those. I'm going to talk about my thoughts fairly quickly here in terms of technical stuff and some of the issues and some of the good things, and then I'm just going to play you my first impressions from the raw footage of the first 35 to 40 minutes or so. So let's get into it. First of all, let's talk technical stuff as we often do. Resolution here isn't great, unfortunately. It's okay. It's about a little bit better than pre-patch No Man's Sky. If you played that, you know that looks pretty rough. There's a fair bit of shimmering. The texture resolution itself is PS3 error, so it doesn't look that great. And the game also runs reprojected, which made me feel not sick because I don't get sick from that sort of stuff. But if you get sick from, say, Horizon's reprojection, it's about on par with that, to be honest. That's not to say all the visuals are bad. There are certain scenes where the game does look genuinely breathtaking because the lighting is pretty damn good and the scenery you're being shown is very, very large and imposing, and I really did like that. However, the resolution just isn't up to standard here. I would say it's worse than Vertigo, and that really turned me off from the game, and that sucks because the visuals sometimes look pretty decent and the gameplay itself is fairly fun. Now that brings me on to my next issue as we rumble through these first impressions, which is, it takes quite a while to get to the gameplay. Honestly, there are a lot of cutscenes in this game and they're handled in a hybrid Resi 4 and Resi Village sort of thing, where you get the flat cutscenes, but they're played in stereoscopic 3D, which is actually a really cool idea. I like that idea a lot. It plays the cutscenes in 3D so they have depth, but they are flat on a cinema screen. I wouldn't mind this, but they're just so long and there's so many of them, and it feels like there wasn't that much effort made to port them into anything usable in VR in terms of keeping it feeling immersive. If those sort of cutscenes don't bother you, you'll be fine here, but there are a lot of them, and I mean a lot. VR mechanics are also okay. There is grip to toggle options on guns, which is always appreciated. The actual haptics feel pretty damn good, but the recoil isn't visually represented that well, but I'm assuming that's how it was in the original. There isn't really that much to interact with in the environment using your hands directly, but there are a lot of physics objects that interact through things that you do, like blowing up barrels, sending stuff flying, and you also have essentially a grappling hook that you can attach to enemies and to parts of the map, and then pull towards you, which is a really cool feature. I really loved playing around with that. That was awesome. The implementation of that is really, really cool, and the fact that it slows down time to let you take out enemies as they come flying towards you, really good idea, really good execution, thumbs up on that feature. The actual reloading is either immersive, as in you take the mag out, you put a new mag in and you cock the weapon, or you can make it so you just have to put a new mag in and then you're sorted. It's good to have those accessibility features where you can adjust the style of immersion you want, so thumbs up there too. And there's also a couple of other features like sliding, which I felt was not really quite right. I don't know, the physics were completely off, and for a game like this, I guess that's all good, that's fine. But the sliding just goes on for a very long time, and it's kind of easy to trigger because it just means you've got to push up on your right stick and it will start to slide. And similarly, down on the right stick is to kick, and this feels a little disjointed because you've got no lower body in the game, so you just have this disembodied leg that kicks forward. That being said, when you do kick or punch an enemy, it feels quite satisfying as they go flying backwards. The gore is also pretty cool. The gore is there as advertised. It seems to be the same as it is in the original game. Although enemies don't really react when you shoot them, the bullets kind of just go into them and they die eventually and fall over. But the actual reaction of the bullet hitting them, like say in a character model in Pavlov with the satisfying hit sound, it just isn't here, it's absent, which kind of sucks. Enemy variety as well, they usually just consist of enemies that will shoot at you with not very smart AI or run straight at you and hit you with melee attacks, at least in the first couple of hours that I played. There are bosses, but they're not really that difficult to take down. Going from Vertigo 2 to going to Bulletstorm VR is a massive just a leap completely. Visually, they're not that far off from each other, to be honest, in terms of resolution, but in terms of art style and the creativity, especially in boss fights and the enemy design and the weapon design, it's just no contest for me, and because I have no attachment to the original Bulletstorm, I just didn't really feel engaged that much, especially in the story of Bulletstorm. It just didn't draw me in, and the excessive cutscenes really took me out of it. Unfortunately, this is probably one that I'm not going to pursue much further. I'm just not enjoying it that much, and it really sucks to say that, but I have to be honest with you guys, Bulletstorm just isn't it for me. Resolution-wise, gameplay-wise, I'm sure some fans of the original will enjoy this, and there are really enjoyable things in there, but a lot of it feels like a bit of a slog for me, and it's not quite my sort of game. So thank you for watching. Enjoy these highlights of my first impressions. I feel like I'm a lot more positive in these first impressions in the actual footage, because I'm trying to kind of bounce between set pieces and stuff, but with hindsight, it wasn't the most enjoyable thing in the world. But anyway, enjoy.
Yeah, I haven't played the original game, so this is going to be jumping in.
Another drink, Gray.
My name is Gray, apparently. I think visually, off the bat, it looks okay. It's like a middling between old No Man's Sky, maybe around like, I don't know, it's a little worse than Vertigo 2, I think. There's like shimmer going on here, I don't know if you can see that. On this like edge. Kick. Oh. Off he goes. Oh, but yeah, I think it technically it's running at 60 or 120 reprojected smoothly, so it doesn't feel like it's stuttering at all, but it does have ghosting and all that stuff.
Left on this ship. Nope.
And it's just, I don't know how does that come across. I'm gonna check. Okay, I've had a look. You can kind of see the shimmer. It's worse in the headset than it is on the flat screen you're seeing right now, I think. Okay, we're into a loading screen and a cutscene. This is I turned on stereoscopic cutscenes. It'll ask you at the start of the game whether you want them on or not. So this is 3D, kind of. There's depth, which I think is really cool. Whoa. This is cool, okay. There's still, can you see the shimmer? You can see it kind of like on the edge here. But this is a really cool scene, and that lighting is neat. I like that. If you're a fan of the IP, you're probably going to get a really big kick out of this. Aha, kick, get it. Yeah, if you play the original, this is going to be nuts to see it all in VR, but I haven't, so I'm kind of taking it at face value as a shooter. I think that's kind of important. But yeah, I don't want to give you a play-by-play of like the opening of the game in terms of just like how the cutscenes play out, because I just turned that man's head off. Because I mean, I just want to get you my first impressions of the gameplay is the main thing, which we're currently in now. Like, yeah, it is quite blurry, unfortunately. But yeah, like that, you can, like, stuff like that, the scale is really cool, but it doesn't look amazing. It looks okay. More buttons, my favorite. They don't make any noise, though, but there's still buttons to press. Right, let's go. Bang! The kicks are really fun, I like that. I'll get my hands ready. Oh, it actually works! It ragdolls them, that's great! They're not dead though. Oh no, I'm empty, that was a mistake, a big mistake. Oh, head haptics. The controller haptics are good as well, there are haptic triggers. Oh, there's ragdoll physics as well, I'm just carrying half a person with me. That's really, really cool. That's in the game. What's this triangle do? It's like spinning up. That slide is so wild. Ooh. Friend? It is very like PS3 era though. It's the style of combat that I don't necessarily prefer, but it is kind of brutal, so it's cool. But usually stuff when enemies are quite static or just run at you is quite boring. So I can push, I can send a leash, and then pull it off. That's sick. Oh, here we go. Leash. Pull. That's sick. I really like that. That's so cool. Can I pull it down? Oh no, I pulled him towards us. Oh no, he's stuck up there. Poor guy. Come back here, friend. I have removed your head. Are you friendly? Why are you running? Oh, he's taking cover. The only issue right now is the visuals, man. And I mean, they're not really bad. I'm kind of getting used to it, but I think if I jumped into like Horizon or No Man's Sky, I'd be like, good God, that looks so much better. What the hell is going on with the visuals there? What is this? Okay, interesting. Yeah, he's dead. Okay, that audio is very out of sync, but that's okay.
Let's see some fat, you sack. Give me something worth dying for.
You're in half now. Goodbye. You're dead. It's okay. Okay, cutscene. Hello. It's very abrupt going from cutscene to cutscene. Yeah. Okay, we have just had a crash, by the way. I want to be completely clear with that. We're back in, I think. Everything's going different colors. There we go. But yeah, my game has just crashed, so we're back in. This has been a bit of a mixed bag so far. There's some stuff I really like all of these like different stuff with like the kicks, and you know, that stuff is awesome. But yeah, like I don't know, some of the visual stuff and that then crashing and the jump between cutscenes and everything is a little jarring for me. That's sick though. This like imagery and the industrial stuff, that's awesome. That feels huge, but it's just blurry, which makes me sad. Kick? Yeah. I love the kick. Open. Ah, nice, okay. We'll do one more little section, I think, and then we'll call it. He's taking a piss, what the fuck? Oh well, he's dead. This is pretty much all I have time to play right now. Visually, it's fairly blurry. Like, these menus are quite blurry, but in the game it's not quite as bad, but it's still you can tell, and it does affect it quite a fair bit. The combat's fun though. The story I don't really care for, but if you're a fan of the original, you probably will. You'll get something out of this, seeing those locations. The actual set design and locations, though, are really cool. I just wish the game was a bit sharper. Thank you all for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you all in the next video.